If tryptophan is in turkey and tryptophan can feed serotonin and melatonin pathways, why does the Thanksgiving story feel too neat? Is the supplement basically concentrated post-dinner sleepiness, or is that a marketing shortcut?
Exactly. The first correction is that tryptophan has several doors. Some becomes body protein. A smaller fraction can become serotonin, and serotonin can be converted into melatonin in the right tissues and timing. A much larger metabolic stream often runs through kynurenine-related pathways. Gut microbes can also transform tryptophan into indole family metabolites. So the question is not, does tryptophan matter? It clearly does. The better question is, which pathway is being changed, in whom, and does that change a sleep or mood outcome? There's another bottleneck people skip: delivery. Tryptophan from a meal is absorbed with other amino acids, and access to the brain is influenced by competition with other large neutral amino acids. That is why contains tryptophan is not the same as raises brain serotonin enough to change how you feel tonight. A capsule may change exposure more directly than food, but even then the body's competing pathways and baseline state matter.
So when people say L-tryptophan helps them fall asleep, what should I hear? A plausible pathway, a proven insomnia treatment, or a small experiment that might only make sense for certain baseline problems?
I would put in the plausible but mixed box. If someone has adequate protein intake, a chaotic sleep schedule, caffeine late in the day, untreated sleep apnea, or major stress, tryptophan is unlikely to overpower those drivers. If someone is testing it, the realistic target is not magical deep sleep. It is a measurable change like shorter sleep latency, fewer restless evenings, or less bedtime rumination over a couple of weeks, while keeping the rest of the routine steady.
The mood claim sounds even bigger. If tryptophan is upstream of serotonin, why is it not automatically an antidepressant nutrient? Where does that reasoning break?
It breaks at the leap from precursor to clinical effect. One recent randomized human trial of a specific Lactobacillus plantarum strain found higher serum serotonin and dopamine after 8 weeks, alongside microbiome shifts. Interesting, but that is not the same as showing over-the-counter L-tryptophan reliably improves depression. It shows that gut-brain biology can move biomarkers. A mood claim still needs symptom outcomes, diagnosis context, comparator groups, and safety review.
Are there examples where tryptophan-related markers did not move even when people took a nutrient supplement? I want a guardrail against cherry-picking the exciting pathway papers.
Yes, and it is a useful break. In the Maddie secondary analysis, children with ADHD and emotional dysregulation took a multi-nutrient supplement or placebo for 8 weeks, and urinary tryptophan, serotonin, and kynurenine measures did not differ between groups. That does not disprove every tryptophan intervention because it was not isolated L-tryptophan, but it does say, do not assume adding nutrients always pushes this pathway in a clinically meaningful direction. Here is the boundary I would not blur. Do not stack L-tryptophan casually with serotonergic medicines or other serotonin-raising supplements without a clinician. That includes antidepressants and combinations where sedation or serotonin toxicity risk could become relevant. Also be cautious before surgery, during pregnancy, with significant medical illness, or if a mood disorder is unstable. Supplements can interact with medications, and products sold online may differ from what studies tested.
What about the gut angle? Some people talk as if tryptophan is a brain supplement, but the newer papers seem to make the intestine look like a major traffic controller. Is food pattern more important than capsules there?
For gut metabolism, food pattern may be the more realistic lever. In a small crossover feeding trial in men at cardiometabolic risk, a 1-month flexitarian diet higher in plant protein and fiber shifted tryptophan catabolism. Less genetic potential for indole production, more fecal xanthorenic acid, and previously reported plasma changes such as higher indole propionic acid and lower indoxyl sulfate. That is not a sleep cure. It is evidence that legumes and fiber can change microbial tryptophan handling.
If someone still wants a capsule, how should they think about product quality? Tryptophan has that historical contamination shadow, and natural amino acid does not tell me whether the bottle is well made.
I would separate 3 exposures: normal protein foods, standard single-ingredient products, and high-dose or multi-ingredient stacks. Food sources are the safest default because tryptophan arrives with nutrition, satiety, and a broader amino acid mix. Capsules are more like a targeted experiment. The label should make the exact ingredient and amount clear, avoid a kitchen sink of sedatives, and not promise to treat depression, anxiety, or insomnia as if it were a medication.
One review mentions a combination with DHA, EPA, vitamin E, tryptophan, and melatonin showing cognitive benefits. Should people read that as evidence for tryptophan by itself?
No, and that is where stop rules help. If a tryptophan trial causes morning fog, dizziness, agitation, gastrointestinal upset, unusual sweating, tremor, or a new mood change, stop and get medical advice. Do not combine it with alcohol or other sedatives just to force sleep. And if the problem is persistent insomnia, depression, anxiety, or cognitive decline, the supplement trial should not delay evaluation. The signal you want is modest benefit without trade-offs.
So, who is the best fit person for a cautious tryptophan experiment if we are not selling it as a universal sleep or mood fix?
Best fit is a healthy adult with a specific, trackable sleep complaint, no serotonergic drug conflicts, no pregnancy or major medical boundary, and a willingness to stop if the trade-off is worse than the benefit. The evidence story is mixed. Real pathways, interesting microbiome data, some biomarker movement and combination signals, but not a clean proof that L-Tryptophan treats insomnia, depression, or anxiety. I would start with protein adequacy, plant-forward fiber, and sleep routine before making the capsule the hero.